Welcome everyone to today's episode of Crypto News Alerts and happy holidays. In today's show, MicroStrategy, Bitcoin purchase divides the crypto community. I'll be sharing the latest controversies. Also, MicroStrategy to offer Bitcoin Lightning solutions in 2023. That's right, including Satoshi-powered incentives for marketing and website cybersecurity. Also in today's show, breaking news, Alameda wallets funnel over $1.7 million via crypto mixers overnight. That's right, data negates the possibility of liquidators behind the fund transfers due to the use of mixing tools and extensive planning to hide transaction paths. I'll be breaking this down for you. Also in today's show, Fiji elects a pro-Bitcoin prime minister. That's what's up, signaling a positive future for the King crypto adoption in the Pacific Island nation. Also, more breaking news, bankman-fried may enter a plea deal in New York federal court next week before the judge. That's right, Bankman-Fried had claimed repeatedly he does not consider himself to have criminal liability in the collapse of FTX, but his colleagues have already pleaded guilty. Also in today's show, the Bitcoin price could surge past $600,000 per coin if the hardest asset matches gold. That's right, Bitcoin is due to copy gold's explosive 1970s breakout as it becomes the world's hardest asset in 2024, according to the latest report from Capriole Investments. I'll be breaking this down for you. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market, all this, plus so much more in today's show. And welcome everyone just tuning in to today's live show. This is podcast episode number 1147. I'm your host, JV. Today is December 29th, 2022. Diving right into today's crypto market watch. As you can see here, we finally got some of the major cryptos pumping back in the green, but barely. We got Bitcoin up 0.16% for the day, trading at $16,600, while Ethereum is up almost 1%, hovering around $1,200. BNB up 1.3%, trading at $246, while XRP, Dogecoin, Litecoin, and Polkadot and Solana all correcting and in the red, with Solana bleeding and below $10 for the first time in a very long time. And checking out coinmarketcap.com, we can see the latest data. The current crypto market cap is sitting just under $800 billion, with about $28 billion in volume in the past 24 hours, with the Bitcoin dominance at a solid 40% even, and the Ether dominance at 18.4%. And checking out the top 100 crypto gainers in the past 24 hours, we got BitDAO leading the pack, up 17.5%, trading above 33 cents, followed by the Trust Wallet token, up about 5%, trading at $1.36, followed by Ether Classic, up 3.5%, trading at $15.88. Below that, we have ICP and Ethereum Wrapped. Now checking out the top 100 crypto gainers for the past week, you're going to see Bit is up 14.4%. We got ICP up 9.5% and OKB up 9.5%. And the biggest losers include XCN, Hex, and Solana. And now checking out one of my favorite indicators, the Crypto Greed and Fear Index, shows we're currently rated a 28 in fear, the same as yesterday, and the same boring price action as last week. And last month was a 26 in fear. And if you're not familiar with the Crypto Greed and Fear Index, just note we have been stuck in fear, in extreme fear, for the bulk of this entire year for 2022, as we have been stuck in this crypto winter. But with that being shared, now let's break down the latest of what's going on with MicroStrategy buying the dip as the crypto community is divided. Let's break it down, shall we? Software analytics company MicroStrategy recently added more Bitcoin to the firm's hodlings. Members of the crypto community had mixed reactions. In a recent tweet, MicroStrategy executive Michael Saylor announced the firm had made another Bitcoin purchase. The move puts the firm's total Bitcoin holdings at 132,500 BTC, purchased for a total of just over $4 billion, but worth only around $2.1 billion at the time of this recording. Many commented on the move or commended the move, while some brought up some potential negative effects. And this is the tweet here from Saylor. MicroStrategy had increased its Bitcoin holdings by 2,500 Bitcoin as of 12/27/2022. MicroStrategy holds 132,500 Bitcoin, acquired for $4.03 billion at an average price of $30,397 per Bitcoin. Here's the young gentleman's response. Michael Saylor, you are a rock star. Your mission, Jim aka Michael Saylor, if you choose to accept it, is to bank the unbanked throughout the world, and a community member praised Michael Saylor. However, not everyone is overly enthusiastic about the company's crypto shopping. Some think this new action could potentially spark a new bottom price for the top digital asset. In a back-and-forth convo on Twitter, Bitcoin analysts Willy Woo and Dan Held shared their thoughts on MicroStrategy's purchase. According to Willy Woo, Bitcoiners would not be happy when the company adds more Bitcoin to its holdings. The analysts argued that MicroStrategy accumulating more Bitcoin poses risk of centralization because the company's decision making is centralized. And in addition, Wu suggested it's better to celebrate adoption by ordinary people. And in a counter argument, Held said there would be no risk of centralization because ownership does not equate to network control. The analyst highlighted that there is no way to control who buys Bitcoin and that people or firms can buy as much Bitcoin as they want. I think Dan Held personally makes a great point. Meanwhile, Saylor recently announced the company's plans to provide Lightning Network solutions next year. The executive said the company is already looking into software and solutions that utilize the Lightning Network, which leads us right into our next story of the day, discussing MicroStrategy's Lightning Network adoption in 2023. This is a pretty big deal. MicroStrategy executive Saylor shared his firm plans to release Bitcoin Lightning Network powered software and solutions for next year in a Twitter Spaces event held yesterday, December 28th. Saylor shared that the company is exploring software and solutions that utilize the Lightning Network, such as solutions that support enterprise marketing, as well as cybersecurity solutions aimed at corporate websites. The Lightning Network, as we all know, is a layer 2 payment protocol layered on top of Bitcoin's blockchain that allows for off-chain transactions, raising payment throughput and lowering transaction fees. It's thanks to the Lightning Network that El Salvador was able to make Bitcoin a legal tender so that the people can send and receive Bitcoin virtually free and instantaneously. Now, a business intelligence and tech company known for its massive Bitcoin holdings, MicroStrategy, has been looking to beef up its Lightning Network-verse team, most recently announcing it was looking to hire a software engineer to build a Lightning Network-based software as a service platform. And during the Twitter Spaces convo, Saylor explained that chief marketing officers could potentially use the Lightning Network to incentivize customers, such as giving out Satoshi rewards for engaging in activities such as posting good reviews or completing surveys. The company also wants to make it possible for any enterprise to spin up Lightning infrastructure in an afternoon, he said. The MicroStrategy chairman again made mention of his Lightning Wall cybersecurity idea, essentially a Bitcoin-based paywall that would protect websites from cybersecurity attacks by requiring visitors to put down a deposit in Satoshi. Saylor also explained that users who want to access sensitive corporate websites would be required to deposit 100,000 sats to guarantee safe passage, which would be returned instantly once the user has finished their visit. He noted this is something that credit cards cannot offer due to the time delays involved in getting funds back, stating the following: the problem with credit cards is that you couldn't reasonably post $20 to 100 websites each day and then get back $20 in 1 second. Could you? Saylor believes it is only a matter of time before someone creates the Lightning version of the Netscape browser, which he believes will involve something like a Lightning wallet that holds dollars and various cryptocurrencies. He believes that if this wallet is created in a non-custodial way, it has the potential to spread to 100 million people. And during the Twitter Space convo, Saylor also hailed the Lightning Network as the Internet of Money and praised its inspirational progress. He said the company has teams working on it and are looking to bring something out by next year, adding that it is more likely it'll be able to show something by the first quarter. Let's go. I can't wait. Personally, I'm a huge fan of the Lightning Network. And in October, Saylor retaliated against Eric Wall over his suggestion that Saylor has not made more than 3 Lightning transactions in his life. And most recently, a new type of Bitcoin address was introduced. Lightning address allow users to make transactions on the Lightning Network almost instantly, as opposed to a 10-minute average for regular Bitcoin transactions. So all hail the King Crypto and Lightning Network. And do you feel that this adoption will help usher in mass adoption as the Bitcoin game theory continues around the world in 2023? Let me know your thoughts in the comments right down below. Obviously, I am a huge fan and proponent for not only Bitcoin, but the layer 2 Lightning Network for scalability and for cheap transactions. It is what we all really need, very awesome to have for us all to implement and take advantage of. And massive shout out also to the Strike CEO Jack Mallers for also his implementation with using the Lightning Network. And with that being shared, now let's discuss the latest what's happening with Scam bankman-fried with the Alameda wallets, which are the hot wallets, which are on the move. Once again, there was 1.7 million mixed just overnight, believe it or not. 30 cryptocurrency wallets linked to the Alameda research, the bankrupt sister company of defunct crypto exchange FTX, became active yesterday, December 28th. Following 4 weeks of inactivity, these wallets swapped and mixed over $1.7 million worth of crypto assets through various crypto mixing services. Crypto mixers are often used by market exploiters and criminals to obscure the transaction path so that the funds cannot be traced to its original source. And as reported, the sudden movement of funds from Alameda wallets just days after SBF was released on bail raised suspicions across the crypto community. Nearly 24 hours later, it seemed the culprit behind these funds transfers used extensive planning to hide transaction routes. And according to data shared by the crypto forensic group Arkham, the first transfer of funds began with multiple Alameda addresses, swapping tokens for Ether and Tether, sending them to crypto mixers, and a majority of these transfers were tracked to main wallets. Yes, right. Tokens from Alameda wallets were first sent to an address starting with 0x738 and then on an address 0x64E. This 0x64E wallet then splits up the ETH and sends it to smaller wallets in sizes of generally $200,000 and $500,000. And after that, it was sent to mixers such as Fixed Float and Change Now. Another wallet was used to swap for stablecoins, where wallet assets were first swapped into USDT and then sent to Fixed Float. A total of $800,000 in USDT was swapped out using mixers, while another $400,000 USDT was funneled via other methods, and an additional $200,000 USDT worth of stablecoins were sent to the Bitcoin network using REN BTC. So in total, that's $1.7 million worth of funds, which were swapped and sent through various mixing services as follows: 270 ETH through Change Now, valued at $325,000, 800,000 USDT through Fixed Float, 200,000 USDT through Curve Synth Swap to native Bitcoin, and 200,000 USDT through AirSwap, as well as 200,000 USDT through other crypto mixing services. Now, the movement of funds from the Alameda wallet funneled through mixing tools created quite the buzz in the crypto community, many questioning the timing of the fund transfers, while others pointed towards the use of mixing services and the inability of authorities to prevent such a thing, despite the matter being sub-justice. That's right. Do you think Bankman-Fried is likely behind this, or who do you think the mysterious mystery man is behind this these hidden funds? Let me know your honest thoughts in the comments right down below. With that being shared, we have breaking major news in the country of Fiji, as their prime minister is pro-BTC. And actually, let's break this down. And I should say newly elected pro-Bitcoin prime minister has taken office in the Pacific Islands of Fiji. The new leader took the Fijian office officially December 24th, which was on Christmas Eve. Lord Fustu Tongan, a noble and former member of the Tongan parliament, took to Twitter to share the news from his neighboring nation. He stated he had explained that this vice president step by step how Fiji can do legal tender like in Tonga, and there could be 2 legal tender bills for the Pacific in 2023, as he shares here, quoting him, both as chairman, Oceania, and as a friend and colleague. Congratulations to brother, the prime minister, and our G-Pox, Bim Arson, on winning your seats in the Fijian elections and for being elected Prime Minister and Deputy Prime Minister of Fiji, respectively. And as pointed out here, the new Bitcoin-friendly, pro-Bitcoin friendly Prime Minister in the South Pacific, Fiji's new elected Prime Minister. Let's go 2 for 2 Bitcoin legal tender bills for the Pacific in 2023, 100. Now, Lord Fuista explained to Cointelegraph in a Twitter message that the new PM or Prime Minister is definitely pro-Bitcoin, as confirmed here. He asked me to meet, which did via Zooms last year, to walk him through step by step how he could adopt Bitcoin as legal tender. Straight up, Tonga's timeline for introducing Bitcoin as legal tender is public and could pass as early as February of 2023. Fiji faces similar economic and developmental challenges as Tonga due to its location and history. However, with almost 900,000 people, Fiji's population is more than 9 times the size of Tonga, so the potential for Bitcoin to improve financial inclusions in Fiji is particularly significant, given the country's geography and economic situation. Located in the Pacific Ocean, Fiji is made up of over 330 islands. It is classified as a middle-income country, but still faces significant development challenges, including high poverty rates, limited access to financial services, and energy dependence upon fossil fuels, which sounds like it's a great candidate for making Bitcoin a legal tender. But indeed, the World Bank reports that remittances into Fiji is over 11% of its GDP. Plus, while Fiji's national financial inclusion strategy reports strong growth growth in financial inclusion in recent years, just half of the female population have access to a bank account. That's a sad fact. Bitcoin could act as a tool to improve remittances and bank the unbanked, following El Salvador's excellent example. And in addition, Fiji may experiment with Bitcoin mining across volcanic islands, as shared here, like Tonga. How to nationalize Bitcoin mining? Specifically, are we going to geothermal volcano mining so that they can do the same, but also make use of their massive hydro and other renewable standard energy they have, which we don't? Fiji's 20-year national development plan requires that all power on the islands must be generated from renewable sources by the year 2030. The clock is ticking. The country requires an additional 120 MW of renewable energy to achieve this target. Bitcoin mining could be the lever that unlocks renewable energy gains. Let's go. Fiji's approach to Bitcoin is in contrast to other countries in the Asia-Pacific region, such as Vanuatu, which has also taken a more cautious stance towards crypto. Until 2021, they banned the use of cryptocurrencies. The Satoshi Island crypto project appeared to pave the way for digital asset adoption, and overall, the election of the pro-Bitcoin prime minister in Fiji is an ongoing development. It remains to be seen how support will translate into concrete policy, but the potential for Bitcoin to improve financial inclusion in Fiji is significant. I say that again, especially with half the women population being unbanked. Now, a long-standing contributor to Cointelegraph, Lord Fusta, explained that Bitcoin can aid with GDP remittance by undermining reliance on cost money transfer services such as Western Union, replace commercial retail banking with Bitcoin custody of citizens' finances in their pocket on a phone or hardware wallet instead of a commercial bank. So there you have it. As Bitcoin adoption worldwide continues, I cannot wait as more and more countries adopt Bitcoin as a legal tender and embrace the king crypto. With that being shared, now let's discuss breaking news surrounding Sam Bankman-Fried to be offered a plea deal in New York court in just a few more days. That's right. Here, let's break this down. That's Sam Bankman-Fried right there. Former CEO Sam Bankman-Fried is scheduled to appear in court on the afternoon of January 3rd, which is 5 days away, to enter a plea on 2 counts of wire fraud and 6 counts of conspiracy against him in relation to the collapse of FTX. Reuters reported on December 28th, citing court records, that Bankman-Fried will appear before District Judge Louis Kaplan in Manhattan. Judge Kaplan was assigned to the case on December 27th after the original judge on the case, Ronnie Abrams, recused herself due to connections between FTX and Davis Polk and Wardwell law firm, where her husband is a partner. The firm provided advisory services to FTX in 2021. You cannot make this stuff up, folks. Kaplan was nominated by U.S. President Bill Clinton in '94 and is known for a straightforward manner and efficient handling of courtroom procedures. Bankman-Fried states numerous times before his arrest that he does not believe he bears criminal liability for his actions as the FTX CEO, saying it was simply an accounting snafu that led him to unknowingly commingling funds of Alameda and FTX customers. Tell it to the judge, bro. Now, Johnny Ray, Bankman-Fried's successor at FTX, had a hearing with the United States House of Representatives and said, I don't find any such statements to be credible. And I agree here with John Ray. I don't think anything SBF says or anything coming out of his mouth could be considered credible. You know what I mean? Ray has been brutal in his assessment of Bankman-Fried's management of the crypto exchange he co-founded. Ray said in written testimony ahead of the House hearing, never in my career have I seen such an utter failure of corporate controls at every level of an organization, from the lack of financial statements to a complete failure of any internal controls or governance whatsoever. And Bankman-Fried is currently living with his parents in California on a $250 million bail, part of which is made up of the equity from his parents' house, where there are several other conditions on Bankman-Fried's release, including mental health and substance abuse evaluation and treatment. Quoting Autism Capital here, for those of you asking, the watch Sam Trabucco wears is a Rolex date, just like the Jubilee bracelet and diamond dial. The steel gold combo is called Rollesaur. It is expensive and has worse resale value than other Rolexes. We hope you enjoyed this morning. Autism, happy holidays. Now, he is the ex-CEO of Alameda before Caroline Ellison stuck in, and he should also be held accountable. And as of right now, he has not been arrested or sent to jail like Gary Wang and Caroline, which were members of his inner circle at FTX and the related trading firm Alameda, and who have already pleaded guilty to the charges against them and have agreed to cooperate with the prosecution. U.S. Attorney for the Southern District in New York, Damian Williams, announced December 22nd the deal with Ellison and Wang was reported before 2024 that the date, but kept secret until Bankman-Fried agreed to extradition from the Bahamas. Bankman-Fried's close associates, Nishad Singh, the former director of engineering, and Sam Trabucco, the former co-CEO of Alameda Research with Ellison, who resigned August 24th, very conveniently, wouldn't you say, have not been charged yet at this time, but as I would say, it is only a matter of time as it will absolutely catch up to them, in my humble opinion. But let me know your thoughts in the comments right down below, and how many of you think that this plea deal, he admits to the guilt of the crimes he committed, or do you think he's just going to plead ignorance, like, oh, I had no clue what I was doing, I'm just an altruistic vegan that eats cucumbers? You know what I mean? How do you feel this is likely to play out? This is probably the most entertaining and strangest event to ever happen in crypto since I have been involved in 2017. So I have been glued. Every day there's just more evidence unraveling. So it's going to be interesting to see how it all plays out and how it's likely to impact the greater crypto sphere in 2023. But we will see. Now let's break down our final story of the day and the moment you have all been waiting for. Here we go. Bitcoin price could surge past $600,000 per coin if the hardest asset matches gold. That's right, send it. Bitcoin is due to copy gold's explosive 1970s breakout as it becomes the world's hardest asset in 2024. That was forecasted from the latest edition of the Capriole Newsletter, a financial circular from research and trading firm Capriole Investments. Despite Bitcoin price action flagging at nearly 80% below its latest all-time high, not everyone is bearish about even its midterm outlook. While calls for a further drop for the king crypto finds its new macro bottom remain, Capriole believes that 2023 will be bright for Bitcoin as a reserve asset. The reason, it says, lies in the world's economy, financial history of the past century, and in particular, the United States, after the dollar detoured from gold completely in 1971, I should say de-anchored, my apologies. Gold, as the world's premier safe haven of the time, saw huge gains during the decade, and 50 years later, it's Bitcoin's turn. So watch out, Peter Schiff. Because gold was so much smaller in the 1970s, and Bitcoin today is even smaller by comparison, it had capacity to make big moves through a decade of inflation and high interest rates. Capriole wrote, that's one reason we believe Bitcoin will do the same and more this decade, and accompanying charts underscored gold's potential to repeat its 70s behavior, among which were a cup and handle chart structure playing out since 2010, which you can see here in your screen. When it comes to Bitcoin vying with gold as the safe haven crown, meanwhile the potential lies in the numbers at just 2.5% of gold's market cap. Bitcoin diving 80% from its $69,000 peak last year has little bearing on its overall picture, and given Bitcoin represents just 2.5% of gold's market cap today, its 80% drawdown adds a mere 2% additional drawdown to the combined hard money gold plus Bitcoin drawdown, the newsletter continued, giving a total hard money drawdown of 24% through to November 2022, comparable with the 1970 and 1975 figures for gold. Now, should the stage already be set for a Bitcoin copycat move of the 70s gold, the growth potential is thus all more impressive. Even now, Bitcoin's market cap is just 10% of that of gold before its bull run of that time began. Bitcoin has more growth potential than gold because it is smaller. A like for a demand in both assets will result in a 40x greater price change for Bitcoin, Capriole stated. 40x, let's freaking go. And a further key argument echoed that long championed by commentators such as Saifedean Ammous in the popular book, The Bitcoin Standard. There, the debate focuses on investors' shift to Bitcoin as its inflation rate drops below that of gold, increasing its monetary hardness versus the metal. Quoting him here, there are many other attributes that make Bitcoin stand out from gold, such as its equitable decentralization, ability to transfer instantaneously and be used for micropayments, but most importantly, Bitcoin is harder than gold. That's right, Bitcoin is hard money. You can't F with. That's right. Capriole added, this will confirm Bitcoin is the hardest asset in the world as its next block subsidy halving in 2024. All in all, gold went up 24x in the 1970s, Capriole summarized. Now imagine the 2020s where the Fed can't afford to be as aggressive, debt is way higher today, and we have digital, accessible, harder money. Bitcoin. So there you have it. Let me know if you agree or disagree with Capriole Investments with a $600,000 price target for the hardest money to ever exist by 2024, surpassing potentially the market cap of gold as well here in the next few years. Let me know how you feel this is likely to play out, and are you currently bullish or bearish for the King Crypto heading into the new year for 2023? Holla at your boy. With that being shared, now let's dive into my favorite segment of the live show, which is the live Q&A. And welcome to everyone just tuning in. I appreciate the continued support. We got Prospect, we got Matthew, we got Lawrence Abramoff. I appreciate the super chat contribution. As always, fam, you are the man. We got Niles Anders, we got Dan Drummond, we got Prospect 708. That's what's up. A lot of chat here. We also have Dragon Flower. Good to see you, fam. Always a pleasure. Greatly appreciate you. We got Seattle John. Good morning. Welcome. Lawrence says, I hope the prices stay like this. We'll be dumping my Flare airdrop immediately. Bitcoin and XRP all the way. That's safe. That's what's up, Lawrence. I appreciate you sharing, fam. Also referring to Sailor, he owns 1 out of 159 Bitcoin that will ever be in circulation, and I believe that's not even counting his personal stash. That is accurate. I read the same thing. We covered that in yesterday's show. So he's got like 17,000 plus Bitcoin on top of that. Absolute beast. You nailed it, John. Sailor is going to be the richest person in the world, says Lawrence. I would not be shocked if he becomes the first trillionaire, right? Next halving cycle, absolutely. He can overcome Elon and who's the other guy, Bezos, etc. Where is everyone? Good question. Lawrence Abramoff says, smash the likes, fam. Pretend you're Bruce Buffer. Hype for a heavyweight match. I greatly appreciate that. Is the greatest compliment and thing you can do to help support the show here. Smash the like, and in order to smash the like, you just got to make sure you're signed into your account, hit that bell icon, turn on all notifications, and make sure you subscribe to the channel. I greatly appreciate that. Dragon Flower says, I'm not giving up on Solana, not touching it for now, but it'll get back in Q1 to Q2. Great topic of conversation. How many of you believe in Solana and think it can bounce back? I recall when Solana was trading above $400. Now, for the first time in years, it's below $10, and a lot of people are expecting it to crash to zero. Also got to point out the obvious. The reason Solana is so successful is because Alameda and FTX were heavily pumping Solana and holding a mass majority of it. So we'll see how that plays out. Niall says, smashy. I appreciate the smashy smash. Dan Drummond says it only makes sense for MicroStrategy to develop software, apps, and APIs for Bitcoin and Lightning. They have a heavy interest in Bitcoin success and investors to keep happy. 100% agreed with you there, Dan, and it seems they are doing the right thing. So shout out again to Sailor and MicroStrategy. Prospect says Sailor should stop propping up the market. It's like a noob and let it drop so he can buy lower. So that's where the controversy comes in. Some people are like, hey, Sailor, what are you doing? You're But it is what it is. Hey, he's been buying Bitcoin above 50,000, sub 20,000. He's just going to continue to buy Bitcoin, and I don't think anyone is going to stop him. I'll leave it at that. Prospect, I would imagine buying a few billion would prop the market. I know it's over the counter, not retail, but I am sure it still has an effect on the market. Dan says from 69,000 to 16,000 isn't a drop. What price will you get off the sidelines? That was a great question right there. Lawrence says we'll take someone like Elon to directly post about it to cause a spike. Isn't it ironic that Elon is silent about Bitcoin when Bitcoin hits new all-time highs or is all excited? He's all pumping it. You know what I mean? But we need if Elon wants to pump the market, all he needs to do is make a single tweet. That's just the way that it is. He is not penny pitching like me. Lots of people will wait until we are back in the 30s. Dan, I personally follow the dollar cost average method, says Matthew C. That's what's up. Lawrence says, me too, with fiat, because stacked too many sats. Dollar cost average all day, says Dan. That's what's up. Matthew says the halving will drive the price back up, if nothing sooner. Absolutely. I agree, and 100% on that. Obviously, the market is looking extremely bearish right now. I will not be surprised if we hit new lower lows in Q1 and Q2 of next year. However, overall, it is what it is. Take advantage of it and stack. And the next halving cycle, we already know 2024, we can expect some extremely bullish momentum, because even if the cycles don't repeat, They tend to rhyme, and every single time without fail, the year of the halving is when Bitcoin typically returns to the all-time high, and the year following the halving, we break out, reaching a brand new all-time high, followed by a 3-year bear market. And right now we're in that bear market in 2023. If history does rhyme like previous cycles, like it has over the past decade, then we're likely to continue into that bearish winter for 2023. And then in 2024 is when I would expect things to turn around if we don't have any angelic events occurring in 2023. So I'm with you there. Prospect says dollar cost average in a bear market is a good way to buy less. I did that in 2018, bought all the way down. Could have had way more if I understood the cycle better. Won't do that again this bear market. Well, lesson learned. That's what's up. Smart prospect, but starting now, it isn't a bad point. Even if the bottom isn't in, 50,000, 40,000, 30, 20,000, all going to get touched on the way back up to the high 60,000s. You make a great point. So if you have a long-term perspective here, if you purchase Bitcoin at 15,000 or 20,000, is it really going to make a difference 5 years from now, or by the year 2030, when Bitcoin could potentially be trading at above $1 million per coin? Are you going to be arguing, oh, I bought it at 14,000, I could have got it at 12, you know what I mean? So you got to keep all that in mind. So you bring up a great point. Dan says people are chasing the one last dump, will be no coiners for life or buy much higher than they want. Goalpost moving is expensive, set a plan and stick with it. Exactly my sentiment. Prospects, I think AI coins will be the narrative next cycle. Any thoughts, JV or anyone? I'm not familiar with AI coins. Can you give me an example? What's the top AI coin right now? Please do let me know. But I think Bitcoin will continue to remain the best and greatest, hardest asset that you can't mess with. Dan, you don't know people's bankroll, says Prospect. Prospect says, I've been in since February of 2018. Matthew says, I think it'll go in cycles, Prospect. There will be DeFi season, Metaverse season, Layer 1 season, Web 3. I think it'll just move from utility to utility so big money can keep rotating around their bags. Dan says, it's blanketed statement though. Word up. Prospect says, agreed. Those new should buy now. BTFD. Good luck, everyone, and God bless. Lawrence says, I can't believe how many clients I got with less than 1,000 Australian dollars a Bitcoin. Lawrence says, like, what's the point? These people have money too. Who else is tried catching Luna Classic falling knife? I wouldn't touch that with a 10-foot pole personally, brother. Matthew says they don't get it yet, Lawrence. They'll be chasing it at 50,000 on the way up. Bet. I did as a bet. Oh well, tax write-off. Matthew says, I'm 90% king. Got some alts, but not Luna Classic. I put $100 in Luna. It's worth 3 or 4 cents right now. Prospect says there's always new narratives and cycles, though. In 2017 cycle, it was IPOs. This past one was metaverse, gaming, NFTs, etc. Next one could be AI coins and privacy coins if CBDCs are rolled out. Personally, I don't think CBDCs are going to be rolled out in the United States anytime soon, but maybe 2025. I can see that happening, at least in the US. Swan says, I don't think Bitcoin bottom is in. However, I do believe in dollar cost averaging, so I think it is a buy. I believe that the power of Bitcoin is in its scarcity. I believe you 100%. Matthew says, I think social tokens, but I agree on AI. Okay. Hillinger says SBF plea on the 3rd could cause financial capitulation or final capitulation of lows. Absolutely. We also got to keep in mind, what do we have? Genesis, Currency Digital Group. I forget the initials. And then we also have the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. If any of these things go under, I mean, we haven't seen the bottom yet. And also, if they go after Binance, or if Binance goes under, which seems to be a major move by the SEC for 2023, with O'Leary already pointing fingers and making the blame instead of, blaming SBF for his own fraud. They're saying it's CZ's fault. What if they go after Binance? What if they go after Cardano? What if they go after Ethereum? You know what I mean? And Ethereum is deemed a security, and now all of a sudden, the majority of the altcoins are all unregistered securities, and all the major exchanges can no longer sell these unregistered securities. This can cause absolute mayhem in the market. Now, there's no guarantee that will happen, but be prepared, because anything can happen, and I think that's the bigger picture. Matthew says, I think Solana can bounce back if on-chain numbers are legit. They have fastest user growth and the most transactions, along with Polygon and Ethereum. Boomer says, have you heard anything about the stability of iTrust Capital? Well, they were a sponsor of the show for the bulk of this year. I'm still an affiliate there, but I stepped back on promoting anything on this channel just because of so much uncertainty. But from my understanding, they don't have any of those financial issues such as, FTX experience or Voyager or BlockFi, etc. But be safe out there. If you're going to invest in anything, only ever invest what you can afford to lose and never put all your eggs in one basket because, anything can happen. If it's not in your control, you know what I mean? Just use your own 2 cents at the end of the day. Not financial advice, but me personally, I wouldn't invest in anything that if number one, I didn't believe in it, and number two, if I didn't have full faith in it, and number three, if I didn't do my own research, and number four, again, never put all your eggs in one basket, unless that's Bitcoin. And you firmly believe in Bitcoin and you've done your homework as I have, and that's a totally different scenario. If you're going to hold long term, I think Bitcoin is the fastest horse in the race with the least risk. You know what I mean? But if you're looking for just like a quick come up next year, you probably shouldn't be holding crypto because there's a good probability your crypto is going to be worth less next year than what it currently is. So do keep that in mind. You know what I mean? That's just my 2 Satoshis. What's up, Jay Fellas? Good to see you here, fam. Do you have any reason that the markets will go up in January? I highly doubt it. Is it possible? Anything is possible. Is it likely to occur? I think it is unlikely, but anything is possible. Jay Fellas, I lost my whole basket. Sorry to hear that, fam. Lawrence says, respect JV for the promotions. Well, I appreciate that. So you got to keep in mind, like, how do I make a living? I do this show. You know what I mean? And sometimes we have good sponsors. Like this year, we were blessed to have sponsors. But unfortunately, those sponsors, who are some of the most credible sponsors in the industry, went bankrupt. So it makes me feel a certain type of way about bringing any sponsor back on the show. So it's like a catch-22. You know what I mean? Because you only want to deal with the most legitimate, sources or exchanges. But at the end of the day, you can't really trust any for the long haul. So it puts you in a very interesting position. You know what I mean? I probably get hundreds upon hundreds of requests every week to promote millions of things in crypto, but I just decline. Number one, I don't need the money that bad to shill anything. And number two, if I don't believe in it, I'm not going to promote it. And the majority of the projects I do not believe in, and I make it very clear. I turn them down literally every day. Sorry, looks like a scam. Sorry, I wouldn't touch that with a 10-foot pole. Not sharing that on my show. And it's like left, right, left, right, left, right. So I'm hopeful that some good sponsors come to me in 2023 that I believe in, that I can promote and feel good promoting on the show. But at the current time, it's like the majority of everything in crypto is doomed. It's kind of how it feels. Unfortunately, no CEO from Bitcoin is going to reach out to me and offer me a deal and say, hey, you're representing Bitcoin. It's Satoshi. We're going to give you a deal, help you stack some. Unfortunately, it don't work that way, folks. SpongeBob says, good morning. I hope Bitcoin drops further. I just sold half of my bag and I'm waiting for the drop. Well, for your sake, I hope you get your bag back and then some. And I appreciate all the support. Rave Elevator, always a pleasure. It's good to see the fam here. I couldn't stress enough how much I appreciate y'all sticking with me throughout the year and throughout this bearish winter. I know in the future, we'll be having tens of thousands of people here in the live chat. It's only a matter of time. But with that being shared, now for the big finish, which is a recap of what I covered with you here in today's live show. We discuss MicroStrategy, Bitcoin purchase divides the crypto community. I broke down the latest controversy, as well as MicroStrategy to offer Lightning solutions in 2023. Also shared breaking news of the Alameda funneling wallets, or their wallets are funneling over 1.7 million via crypto mixers overnight as the cash is on the move, or I should say the crypto. And Fiji elected a pro-Bitcoin prime minister, which is great for Bitcoin adoption around the world. We also discuss scam bankman-fried may enter a plea deal in New York federal court next week in just a few more days. And we also discuss the breaking story of the day. Bitcoin price can surge past $600,000 if the hardest asset matches that of gold's breakout from the 1970s. But where do you feel the Bitcoin price is likely to go next? Let me know in the comments right down below. And I look forward to seeing you on tomorrow's show. Peace.